Welcome to my weekly insight about the inner voice that we all have. Sometimes it's an inspiring voice, and that's wonderful. And other times it's that inner critique, that voice that stops you from moving forward in your life and you feel almost paralyzed. Now, if you like this video and you find it valuable, please do like, share and comment. Let's support others as well who may be struggling to deal with this kind of voice, the inner critique voice that does not serve them. But also, importantly, how is it serving you? So do share your challenges with me and how you are dealing with your inner critique voice. Now, over the past few weeks, I've been listening to so many people within my network, but also on the Clubhouse platform. And it seems that there is a lot of people struggling in dealing with their inner voice that they have. And this is down to confidence, their values and their belief systems. Now, if anyone is listening to this video in a year's time, I'm making this video during the coronavirus pandemic. Now, it's been a year and we are still in lockdown to some extent. Though regardless of whether it is the pandemic or not, the inner critical bullying voice is around no matter what. Whether it's an inspirational one or a negative one, it's with us. That is if one lets us be absorbed by it. The coronavirus has absolutely thrown the world into a new way of living and thinking. And without a doubt, the emotional and the physical, mental, economical and financial state has and will be stressed further. We are going through so much as a collective right now and not sure which paths to take. Yet everyone's journey and hardship are different, with some of us or left with the feelings of feeling alone and scared of what our future holds for us. And if this is difficult enough, during these times of isolations, we have this inner critique voice have a way of becoming louder and louder more than ever within us because of our self-doubt. Your inner critique can be the most brutal, annoying bully of all. Critical inner voices often highlight internalized feelings of lack of security and that nourishment of confidence. Stressful times shine a spotlight on those internalized feelings, heightening our general sense of anxiety. It also taps into your deepest and darkest fears, your vulnerabilities and hang-ups, and it starts to dig at them with like a big stick poking at you. You wouldn't stand for a friend or a colleague talking to you like that, would you now? So why do you allow your inner voice to speak to you in that manner? Although your inner voice can be pretty brutal at times, that it seems like it just paralyzes you from doing anything and it stops you from moving forward and growing, then it is so important to recognize that it is just a mouthpiece for your inner psyche, which needs to be met with understanding, empathy, compassion, and go towards how you can do the inner healing of it. Now, in just a bit, I will share some useful and helpful tips that you can begin to use to help you deal with that critical inner voice. Most people can on a day-to-day, they will try to drown out those inner sort of voices, those niggles, those irritations, but they have a habit of rearing their head when you least need them to. When you are stressed, emotionally exhausted and generally feeling low, that's when they start to pop up. Now, most of us are familiar with those nagging thoughts, but we're not sure as to how to deal with them. And when we're not good enough at kind of casting the doubt on our goals, and we tend to undermine our accomplishments and achievements. So we need to be very aware of this. Now, these thoughts might be there to greet us when we first take a glimpse of ourselves in the mirror in the morning. You might hear yourself, your inner voice telling you things like, you're so unattractive, you're overweight, you're fat, you're just procrastinating, all those negative kind of comments that you keep hearing yourself say. This inner critic voice, you might even hear at work when when you're under a lot of pressure, when everything you're trying to do is going wrong. But you should never give up, okay? It's even there to critique your closest relationships when we're feeling down with our relationships and we're feeling vulnerable that they won't last or everything's going wrong. Everything seems like it's being turned upside down when we allow this bullying voice to take control. So I know you're asking me, how do we address and overcome our inner voice, that bullying voice, so that negativity doesn't play around and snuffle out our thoughts of making us feel even lower than we already do? Well, don't worry. The first step is tuning into what they are tuning into what they are trying to tell us and acknowledging it. So for me, if I have reoccurring negative thoughts kind of rattling around in my head and it's not going away, I tend to write them down, and I then try to look at it with evidence-based. And also I will then make a list of reasons why I am feeling this way and all of the negative connotations that go with it. Now that you have acknowledged that inner voice, you can then start to take a positive spin on it, start flipping it around. Now, if there is an element of truth to it, truth to that thought, then start jotting that down. What you can do to overcome that feeling, that thought. When doing this exercise, it is so important to set goals which are realistic and achievable. Now for me, my negative thought right now, for example, is that I'm not achieving enough as much as I should actually be achieving. Well, first of all, you need to work out what aspects that you feel, what areas that you feel that you're not achieving in. So is it your business? Is it your family, health, well-being, fitness, relationships, your learning, your education, or is it a combination of a few things? When you have this established, you start to list the priorities. So for example, if it's to do with your business or your personal life, list the priorities and what you would like to achieve in the coming weeks or the coming months. For me, it's always best to start small, and I tend to do it week by week. But remember, there is no point in stating things like, I want to become the next president or the MP. First of all, if you have no ambition or desire to become a president or an MP, then why do it? Because secondly, if you have no experience in that area, why say it? What you want is to have a list that's realistic. So being an MP is not realistic, and it is very unlikely to happen. A realistic goal instead would be, for example, I own a stationery business. So the way you can look at that is by assessing what you can improve on. So make a list of the improvements that you need to make within that business. When you are doing this exercise, be sure to give equal consideration to what you have also achieved to date. Go back and acknowledge those achievements. That is absolutely vital for killing that inner voice. And you can do this with any aspects of your life. And trust me, you will be surprised at how many wonderful things you have done that have gone without praise. We often don't praise ourselves well enough. So please do that. Now, always remember to be kind to yourself and take time to celebrate your achievements. However small they are, it's really important to celebrate those achievements that you are doing and to believe in yourself. Now, doing this exercise should not stop the constant negative tune of the bullying, but will also set you on a clearer path of where you feel that you should be headed, as well as spurring in your steps or a pat on the back. You might say to yourself things that are reaffirming and say, you know what, I'm doing a great job no matter what. So that's really important to keep praising yourself. Sorry, I've got flies here. Remember to like, share and subscribe to this video if you find it valuable, and if you would like to keep up to my up-to-date videos, then please do follow. I have a whole range of videos on YouTube. Anyway, right now, so what other useful tips can I give you that has helped my clients deal with that unwanted inner voice critique? Have a go at these 4 steps. They're actually really simple steps to follow, but you have to be consistent in trying to do the steps. So step number 1 would be to identify what your critical inner voice is telling you. Acknowledge that, and acknowledge this thought process is separate from your real point of view. Now remember that your critical inner voice is not a reflection of your reality. It is a viewpoint you have adopted based on destructive early life experiences and attitudes directed towards you that you have internalized as your own point of view. So that's your first step. The second step, one way is to help you to differentiate from your critical inner voice, to write these thoughts down, as I mentioned earlier, but write it in the second person as you statements. So for example, a thought like, I can't get anything right, I'll never be successful. This should be written as, you can't get anything right, you will never be successful. This will then help you see these thoughts as an alien, an outside point of view, and not as true statements. So step 3, you can respond to your inner critic by writing down a more realistic and compassionate evaluation of yourself. So write these responses in the first person as I statements. In response to a thought like, you're such an idiot, you could write, I may struggle at times, but I am smart and competent in many ways. Now this exercise isn't meant to build you up or boost your ego, but it is to show a kinder, a more empathetic, honest attitude towards yourself. Now step 4 is remember not to act on the directives of your inner critique, that bullying voice. Take action that presents your own point of view, who you want to be, and what you aim to achieve. Your critical inner voice may get louder, telling you to stay in line or not to take chances. However, by identifying, separating from and acting against this destructive thought process, you will grow stronger while your inner critique grows weaker. Now I believe that the key to great mental health and well-being, without a doubt, and of course, is your mindset, but also it's about having the tools, the strategies that you may need in your back pocket should you ever need them. Use them as a preventative. Now my question to you is, why wait till it gets unbearable? Why not catch it early when you, for example, like when you have a cold, catch it and kill it. You have one mind, one body, so treat it with love, because you sure cannot buy another one. My next question to you is, can you put a price on your mental health and well-being? The answer is simple. No, you can't. Invest in yourself. Thank you.
I'm not disturbed, but we might want a coffee.
Oh, thank you.
When you're finished, give us a knock.
All right, thank you so much. Oh, sorry about that, I completely lost track. I'm outside doing this recording, by the way, outside a pub where they've got these wonderful books for people to just take and bring back. And the gentleman from the pub inside who lives here has literally, sorry, I'm just brought me a cup of coffee to kind of give it to me, and he said, just knock on the door. How lovely. Now, oh my goodness, gestures like this is what makes it absolutely wonderful and important to how people care. There are loving people out there, and I absolutely love it. So thank you. You know, in fact, this used to be the pub that I used to come to before the lockdown, but it's wonderful. Anyway, caught me out of distractions, but I am back now, and I'm going to carry on and just finish up my post about the inner critique voice. So let me get back on track. I think I got to point number 4. So step number 4 is remember not to act on the directives of your inner critique. Take action that represents your own point of view. Now, on what the things that you have to aim. You know, you may find that this inner critique of your voice will get louder and louder, but you know what? By identifying, separating them, you're going to begin to disrupt that negative thinking process, and that will then allow you to grow stronger, while your inner critique voice will then slowly weaken. Now, I believe that the absolute key to great mental health and well-being is, of course, working on your mindset, self-awareness, self-improvement, but also with that, having the tools and strategies that you need in your back pocket should you ever need them. A preventative. Now, my question is, why wait till it gets unbearable? Why not catch it early? For example, if you have a cold, you're going to catch it and then you're going to kill it. Remember that you have one mind and you have one body. So treasure it, love it, look after it. After all, you can't put a price on it. Do you know what? I think I might be repeating some of this because I've kind of lost track. So I need to kind of go to my inspirational critique of the voice. I am going to end it here now. So all I want to say is thank you for watching. I look forward to reading your comments. Now, I'm Zinat Narani, a well-being and mental health coach and therapist. I'm the founder and owner of Vida de la Mariposa, which means life of a butterfly, and I believe it's all within the transformation. Supporting you, well, I'm here to support you to live the life you desire through finding and forging your path through the darkest of times. You can shine your light no matter what, and I am here to help you. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day. Keep safe and well.